Welcome, Taurus, to the month of October 2018. I'm Megan of North Star Astrology, and this is another general transits reading for those of you born with your sun, moon, and or rising signs in the second sign of Taurus the Bull. Now notice I have a candle going because it's late at night and I wanted to be able to shed some light, at least more light, onto your chart. Now, I will also be including the bonus reading with that little bit of artwork and in continuation of coloring it for those that haven't seen it. And on we go. So the month starts out trailing in from September 30th with Mercury in Libra in your 6th house of health, work, and service given, trining the moon in Gemini. So from the 2nd house to the 6th house, this very beautiful, harmonious trine forms 4 houses and 4 signs away, air to air. Mercury, now that it's direct, no more retrogrades for a while, thank goodness. And so Mercury trining the moon in your 2nd house of money and what you value at 2:04. And then on October 1st, Pluto, having been retrograde in your 9th house of religion and philosophy, now goes direct. Get out of here, retrograde. And so now Pluto is direct in your 9th house. And that happens... Oh, I guess that happened at 2:04. Pardon me for this aspect here. The trine did not happen at 2:04. Pluto going direct, however, did. Then, on October 2nd, the last quarter moon occurs in your 3rd house of communications in Cancer. And any kind of last moment ideas or deadlines or errands nearby, neighboring, maybe even some kind of endings in the way you communicate, perhaps. That last quarter moon happens at 9 hours, 49 minutes, or 9 degrees Cancer, 9 minutes. Then on October 3rd, the following day, at 8 hours, 34 minutes, Jupiter in your opposite sun sign of Scorpio trines that last quarter moon. So from your 7th to your 3rd houses, Jupiter largely gives you the emotional harmony that you seek with others and as well as your significant partnerships. Then on October 5th, Venus, your ruling planet, goes retrograde at 19 hours, 6 minutes. Now, I don't have one of those little retrograde tags for Venus. However, you get the idea. Then also on October 5th, at 11 hours and 35 minutes, Jupiter squares the moon once the moon enters your fourth house of the home in Leo. So there's some kind of maybe challenge with others within your home, or some kind of irritation. It's just a minor irritation though, because it's only a 90-degree short distance square between the largest planet squaring the moon. And so this is only kind of like a minor irritation and or challenge in the way you feel largely within the home base versus along with, your significant other. Then on October 7th at 14 hours 4 minutes, Jupiter sextiles the moon once the moon comes into your fifth house of romance and creativity. So from your fifth house to your seventh houses, the moon gives you a positive, short but sweet happiness. Maybe you'll be that much more of a hopeful romantic rather than a hopeless romantic with your significant other. In other words, you'll be more romantic at this time on October 7th with your marriage partner and be more romantic and creatively at that. Then on October 9th, the new moon occurs in your sixth house of health, work, and service given. And if you're wondering why I'm whispering, it's because it is later at night and I don't want to upset any I don't want to upset any of my neighbors. Anywho, the new moon occurs at 3 hours 48 minutes at 15 degrees Libra, 48 minutes. And see, the sun is in Libra at the start of the month, in the beginning of October. Actually, it's the last week of September, somewhere there, is when Libra begins. That's right. So so Libra, new moon in Libra, new, perhaps harmonious visions in the workplace. Perhaps a new ground rules, a new promotion, new projects, a new raise. Then also on October 9th at 8 hours 51 minutes, Pluto, having gone direct, squares the moon, actually squares that new moon. So from your 6th to your 9th houses, you now have this very challenging, but yet with this new moon, perhaps an impetus to transform your philosophies and or belief systems regarding work. Then on October 10th, Mercury leaves your 6th house and then enters your 7th house, leaving Libra and entering Scorpio, your opposite sun sign, giving you that much more of a intense way of communicating in a more introspective, insightful, deep delving way of communicating. However, with Venus here also, your ruling planet Venus here also in Scorpio, this gives you a very almost otherworldly, in a sense, way of being able to tap in and communicate largely in a loving way with your significant other. And that happens at 0 hours 41 minutes. Then on October 11th, at 22 hours 59 minutes, Jupiter conjuncts the moon. Once the moon then goes into your opposite sun sign of Scorpio. So now we have moon conjunct Jupiter in Scorpio. And with this, you really have a great amount of energy, loving, emotional, perhaps it's amazing. It's like, I'm not really sure how that will be for you. But at any rate, okay, so then on October 14th, at 0 hours 59 minutes, the sun sextiles the moon. Once the moon then goes into your 8th house, into Sagittarius, and then so then the sun sextiles the moon. So from your 6th to your 8th houses, you will be positively charged in that you will be tapping into and emotionally be able to express your need for others' resources, such as asking your boss for an additional raise or receive an actual bonus. Then on October 16th, the first quarter moon occurs in your 9th house in Capricorn at 23 degrees Capricorn, 19 minutes. And so with this stemming from the new moon, first things first, like first steps, the moon in the 9th house will make you a bit more philosophical, if you will. Then on October 16th as well, at 21 hours 50 minutes, Jupiter sextiles the moon in this direction now. We have, before Jupiter was sextiling from this standpoint, and now Jupiter is again sextiling the moon. So from your 7th to your 9th houses, again, with Jupiter in your opposite sun sign of Scorpio, sextiling the moon in Capricorn, water, earth, water. You now have this general positive sense of emotional well-being, perhaps with your significant other on a vacation overseas or on a long road trip. Then on October 19th at 12 hours 22 minutes, the sun then trines the moon. Once the moon comes into your 10th house of career, and then makes the 120-degree harmonious trine from your 6th house to your 10th house, 6th house of work, 10th house of career, the moon now in Aquarius versus the sun still in Libra. So both are air sign qualities. And with this 4 houses away, harmonious trine from the sun to the moon, you now have a great sense of emotional well-being in your, or within whatever career you have chosen. Emotional well-being. Deep down in your soul, that spot represents your soul. Then, let's see. On October 21st, at 23 hours 48 minutes, Jupiter then trines the moon. Once the moon enters your 11th house of friendships, hopes, goals, and wishes. And I know you can't really see the trine right now because it's behind the Halloween pumpkin. But you know it's there. And so from your 7th house to your 11th house, you now have this very harmonious, largely intensified emotional goings on with and through your other significant others versus and or with along with any kind of group event with your friends. And that could mean maybe you're renewing some kind of marital vows in a group setting from within that trine there. And then on I almost said September. On October 23rd, the sun enters your 7th house in Scorpio. So now the sun and I'm running out of room here. The sun enters your 7th house in Scorpio at 11 hours 24 minutes. Then too, also on October 23rd at 18 hours 19 minutes, Pluto squares the moon. Once the moon comes over here into your 12th house of the subconscious mind and dreams. And now from the 12th to the 9th houses, with Pluto now having gone direct in Capricorn, this 90-degree square to the moon in Aries gives you the impetus and or challenge to challenge yourself to overcome any subconscious obstacles, overcome any mental blocks. There's a need to break free from something, which is really cool. We all need that from time to time. Then on October 24th at 16 hours 46 minutes, the full moon occurs, coming full circle pretty much back into your sign, Taurus, at 1 degrees Taurus, 13 minutes. Then 2 days later on October 26th at 14 hours 50 minutes, Jupiter in your opposite sun sign of Scorpio opposes the moon in your sign. And as I always say, this is the point of awareness, or excuse me for hitting the tripod. The point of awareness and opposition is, or doing the 180, and so from Jupiter opposing the full moon, you now have this ability to connect with yourself and body and realize the need to take care of yourself, your physical self. Watch for any sore throats at this time as the seasons are changing, colder, fall weather. As you, Taurus, rule the throat area. Jupiter, however, in your 7th house of others and relationships, also not only gives you the awareness of self, but the need largely to be balanced in a sense, as this is the naturally residing Libran house, but you have Scorpio on this cusp, and that was my dog, if you were wondering. And she was just shaking. And so there you have it. There's a need for balance and awareness between yourself and others. Watching out for your voice, your vocal cords, if you're a singer perhaps. Then on October 28th at 4 hours 39 minutes, Mars. We haven't talked much about Mars yet. Mars harmoniously trines the moon 2 days after the full moon. Mars trines the moon in, coming full circle, the moon in Gemini. So Mars in Aquarius, a fixed air sign. You're fixed, but you're a fixed earth sign. Mars in the fixed air sign of Aquarius, now harmoniously trining Gemini, the mutable air sign. So this very harmonious trine from the 10th house of career to the 2nd house of money may mean you're going to get another great bonus or promotion. Then on October 31st, happy Halloween, Mercury enters Sagittarius, entering your 8th house of others' resources at 4 o'clock, at 4:39, 4 hours 39 minutes. Also on October 31st, Venus, your ruling planet, entering back into Libra, into So your ruling planet goes backwards. In other words, because earlier in the month on October 5th it went retrograde. So now it's going back into your 6th house of health, work, and service given at 19 hours, 43 minutes. So it's kind of like flip-flopping in a way, especially now that it's in Libra, but that's an okay thing because both Libra and you are ruled by Venus. Then on October 31st as well, at 2 hours 32 minutes, Mercury, now in Sagittarius, trines the moon once the moon goes into your 4th house of the home in Leo. So now, once again, a very harmonious trine between how you're thinking and your mental capacity to ask for others as resources regarding something to do with some kind of home renovation project or something for the home. Then and that happened at 2 hours 43 minutes on October 31st. Then on October 31st as well, the last quarter moon happens toward the end of the 4th house of the home. So in other words, it's making its way, but it's not quite in the 5th house. But the last quarter moon happens at 16 hours 41 minutes and or 8 degrees Leo 12 minutes. And that, my dears, is what you would call a very full month or a very full reading. And I hope you enjoyed your reading. Notice there's this sleeping cat along with the pumpkin. And even though it's not a black cat, it's a nice, heavy crystal cat. And it's giving you an earthy vibe. And I have a candle glowing, at least for now, because sometimes I do these in the morning and sometimes I do them at night. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed. Please feel free to like, give me a thumbs up, comment down below, and or subscribe. And now, also, in case you didn't see it last month, your attributes, positive characteristics and or attributes are patience, conservative, domestic, sensual, thorough, stable. Negative characteristics and or traits to let go, self-indulgent, stubbornness, slow-moving. You get the idea. So this then is the continuation of the coloring in of your animal sign of Taurus the bull. Oh boy, I'm going to have to sharpen this already. Just looking to see how many minutes I have left. And we're doing fine. We're doing really good. Hang on. wonderful. This art project that I came up with at the last moment was because I just had a bee in my bonnet, and I had to, this light bulb came on over my head, and I just had to come up with something, in general, unique for you to enjoy about your sign. And it's not perfect, but it's a little something that I enjoy. And I'm not the greatest artist, although I'm working on that. And my moon is in Taurus. And I've always been accused of being stubborn. However, you know what? Those labels, I'm so sick and tired of labels. In general, maybe the reason I used to balk and be stubborn on things is because maybe I wasn't into it or interested whatsoever. And it's like, why can't people just take no for an answer? You know what I mean? You get my drift? I mean, seriously, if there's a reason why we're not interested, then we're going to dig our heels in. And we're going to not be so enthused or something. I mean, I'm not really sure. I know my dachshund is a Taurus, so I know she can be just as doubly stubborn because of her breed. But come on, I understand the need to just be free in choosing what it is you want to do and not feel burdened by others' agendas or others' opinions. And like I said, I hate labels. I think that's my being a Pisces, not liking labels. So even though I wrote all these attributes and the things to let go and everything, it's only a general outline, and don't take it personally in any way. It's just it just is, we are who we are. And if any of you understand the principle of the fact that we're all spiritual beings in human and or animal form, then that too is a fascinating concept. But there too, that's just someone's opinion and or label of some sort. Like I said, this is all just, speaking of labels, look at my little tags, my labels on all the planets. I've been having so much fun with you guys and enjoying sharing all of what I know, and I truly love this science, if you will, art, the art of the circle of life, the flow, the ebb and flow of the planets. So I'm going to try to continue finishing up on this. Let's see what, oh, it's just basic brown, okay. I had a darker brown, I think it's in here somewhere. Nope, that's green blue. Bronze yellow. Ooh, that might have been the color for the previous sign. I have to look for that. Anywho, thank you so much for watching, Taurus, and have a happy and safe Halloween. Bye for now. Until next month in November. Can you believe it?